I don't know if I have seen a crunchier, shadowier, or triggerier week in a long time in the astrology. So this week of August 12th is pretty fucking intense. But there's some really great stuff about it. There are some really great gifts in this astrology, and I want to give you ways to work with the archetypes at play, let you know who the big players are, what the energy is, the theme of the week, and really how we can work with it, get the most out of it. Like, what is the point of this much intensity or insanity or hard, challenging shit? So let's just go with what's the point. Like, what is the overall point? What is the gift in this really, really rough astrology this week? The gift and the point is evolution. The gift and the point is deepening you into true self, awakening you. If we were to look at kind of the big overall energy right now, it's you shining in your light in your unique way and you stepping into power, refining your relationship to power. And that requires a lot of shadow work. It requires a lot of looking at the unconscious places where we wield power, where we misuse power, where we deny our power, where we overuse power, where we don't know that that's what we're doing. It's also where we deny our light. We don't know that we're denying our light. We don't know that we're withholding our gifts. We're withholding love. We don't know that we're closing. We're contracting. We're withholding love. Or we're blocking out the things that we really want. So a really great thing to look at this week about is it's like walking into a spiritual boot camp, a soul boot camp, and basically the world is just going to hand you your ass this week and tell you, here's why your life isn't as joyful and as purposeful as it could be. This is what's blocking you. Here's the karma. There's a lot of Saturn energy this week. So Saturn, we talked, what are the big archetype players this week? Saturn is Lord of Karma. So we're going to be seeing a lot of karma coming. We also have Black Moon on the South Node. South Node is all karma. It is karma week. And so this week is really about what is the, I don't want to keep using the word karma. What are the blocks, the unconscious blocks bubbling up to the surface to be let go of? Unconscious blocks can be things like absorbed family conditioning that you don't know you have, an upper limit that your family really set on you. It can be a belief system around stepping into power. I want to say the witch wound is going to be loud as fuck this week. If there was one place to work, I would work in witch wound territory, shadow territory, witch wound territory. Witch wound kind of points to you stepping into your power, no matter what that looks like. You stepping into your own unique flavor of witchy gifts, whatever those are. And what is required for you to bring those to the world, to be seen in those, for you to shine your light in your unique, beautiful, witchy, wild, wonderful way. But it's going through all of those unconscious belief systems like, if I shine this brightly, the world's going to want to kill me. You're going to be burnt at the stake. If I shine this brightly, I am going to be given like Christ wounding where I'll just be sacrificed. That's another one that comes up with the witch wound. If I live my truth, I'm going to be ostracized and discarded from society. I'm going to be thrown out of my family. I'm going to lose love. My children will be taken away from me. These are really... They are way beyond rational, but that's what's coming up this week. So if you have ways to get into this territory, this like irrational, underworld, unconscious shadow work type work, do it. Really and truly, this is a week to be walking into our underworld, to be giving ourselves some big space for big healing. We also have Chiron up in the mix in a beautiful way. So that's healing. It's really healing. It's shamanic healing. Chiron's retrograde. Mercury is retrograde. This is really and truly an underworld journey. Both of those are taking us into the underworld. Pluto is another archetypal player this week. Pluto is Lord of the underworld. He is all about power and what's hidden in your unconscious. He's all about evolution. He's a soul point in our astrology charts. He's an evolutionary soul point. And it's beautiful because he also brings up what it is that we need to see, grow through, evolve, open up to, awaken to empower ourselves to really step into that true shining self. And our gifts and our power, and to be able to give them freely and openly, which is the thing that fulfills us, right? It's the thing that brings us the bliss and the joy and the pleasure. So if we go back to what is the point of this week, it's really essentially long term to bring you to more blissful led life, to a more fulfilling life, a more purposeful life. But it's stripping. It's going to strip away the false. You can really feel into that for this week. That's Medusa stripping away the false masks. We start the week with her conjunct Mercury on an underworld journey. That's just stunning, right? We've got so much dark goddess, deep, sacred, feminine, pointing at your wounds. Really and truly, that's what she's doing. She's pointing at the repressed parts of self. She's pointing at how you deny power, pointing at how you misuse power. She really is. It's painful. This is ego slaying. It is really and truly a humbling week. And so if we can also think about just like, let me be, what's the word I want to use? Let me be really forgiving of myself. Let me be really accepting of myself. Let me be really hold this like non-judgmental space around myself. And to be able to eat a lot of humble pie this week. This is a really good week for just going, I'm a student. What am I learning here? I'm a student. Walking into this week, I'm telling you, we will get so much out of this week. If we walk into this week really open-mindedly and going, I don't know what I don't know. I actually am so open to learning, like beginner's mind with your life, beginner's mind with everything that you do. I am telling you the insights that will reveal themselves, the healings that will happen, the shifts that will happen, the karma that will be dropped. It is a week of reaching into the old karmic backpack. We all have one. Reaching into the old karmic backpack. And what are the burdens, the weight, the karma to be taken out? Also, if you want to think about ancestral lineages, what are the karmic knots? It can be past lifelines. It can be ancestral lines. What are the karmic knots in us that are ready to loosen and dissolve? We've got Neptune up in the mix. Neptune is the great dissolver. Cloud of unknowing descends, dissolves the old, opens us into something newer and truer, right? We have a finger of God happening on Wednesday, Thursday. It gets real spicy. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're building up to this, right? You're probably watching this early in the week, maybe not, but we're building up to the energy. It is really and truly a week to, I would, you feel into what is true for you. This is how I'm feeling for myself and for my rewilding team. Like, what is it that we're focusing on this week? Really and truly, it's a focusing in on, how is it that we can revise, review, revisit to deepen into even greater alignment? Like, what is it that we're up-leveling versus something like launching something this week or doing a lot of complex interacting with others, because there is going to be everyone's shit coming up to the surface. It's really good for shadow work. I mean, because it's just flying. So if you're a shadow work facilitator, this is one hell of a week and you're going to be holding like a mofo, right? But really and truly, it's a week, even just during the Mercury Retrograde, Chiron Retrograde, it's a time to really be inward and to go, what is it that's shifting, evolving, and changing in myself, right? What am I being asked to do? So this is a week of really getting sovereign, coming into self and going, what's here for me? What's here for me? What am I learning? What are the lessons? What's the karma that I'm dropping? I'm at a crossroads. Hekate. Hekate is loud. I'll talk about this in a second. There is a grand cross happening. Yeah, Hekate, the moon, Saturn, and the Mars-Jupiter conjunction. It doesn't get any witchier than that shit. Hekate, the moon, Saturn, Mars and Jupiter conjunction. Like, that is so much evolutionary, wounding, crunchy, challenging, where different forces will be fighting each other within ourselves. Of course, it's all happening outside as well, but we always have the conversation about bringing it into self and what is this showing us about our own evolution. So Mars, the warrior, let's talk astrology. Let's get into like nitty gritty now. Mars, the warrior, is coming into conjunction with Jupiter. This is building this week, right? But that's happening. That's already in play. That's active. So that's loud. That's Jupiter expansive, expands the energy of the god of war in us, the masculine god of war, the warrior, the action-oriented, fiery, feisty, also on a really nice, beautiful side, purpose-filled, passion-filled, right? And will fight for what it is that we believe in, fight for our purpose, fight for our love, fight for light. And so if we feel into sacred warrior, that can kind of help keep that energy high level. That's something to just maybe feel into continuously this week, right? What level am I fighting at? What level am I warrioring at? In all the different ways that we warrior, we might be warrioring with ourselves, right? Like, I know that I got like an internal fight club going on when astrology gets like this. And so it's to just really think of like high level sacred warrior, heart aligned warrior, that kind of level of high frequency warrior. So that's Mars, Jupiter squaring Saturn. Y'all, come on. That's just, Saturn, Lord of Karma, Father Time. And he's literally saying, like, we're going to clean up the warrior. It's going to be Mr. Miyagi. That's Saturn. Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. I am going to give you the lessons that you need to get you to the mastery that I know that you could make it to from a soul standpoint. That's just big, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Mars. Mars is also in a square and a half to Pluto. That's going to bring up some of the shadow territory, some of the hidden, some of the unconscious, some of that power play stuff. That kicks the week off. So Mars, the warrior in us, that masculine aspect of us, and you don't have to identify as masculine at all. We just all have that part of ourselves, right? And it's out in the world too, but it's going to clean it up. It's like a purification of our action-oriented aspect of self. So if you're not resonating with warrior, that's fine. Action-oriented part of self, right? That part of me that does, that directs, that guides, that leads my life, that makes decisions. That part of me being up-leveled, evolving, like a higher expression of that, based on some shadow work with Pluto, based on some discipline, and some real like self-mastery training from Saturn. I will deliver the lessons you need to get you to the self-mastery that I know you can make it to. And Jupiter's grace bomb too. So just know that there's a lot of light coming with this. It might look dark and it might look crunchy and hard and triggery and challenging, but there's a lot of light. We just came out of Lionsgate, and it's almost like Lionsgate brought in that much light, right? That much spiritual energy. If you haven't seen our Lionsgate episode, might serve, just kind of scroll down. I don't know, we'll put a link up here to dive into Lionsgate episode, or if you want the activation of Lionsgate, it's a lot of light. Check out Bones membership. That's a beautiful thing to do if you're really wanting to work with the energy, to embody the energy, to activate that energy in yourself. But anyways, we just came out of Lionsgate, so it's an enormous amount of light. What does a lot of enormous amount of light oftentimes bring up? It brings up the dark to purify it. It brings up the dark, and this Lionsgate is going for much more embodiment. Part of the reason for that is the amount of sacred feminine energy involved in the astrology at the moment, and just where the collective consciousness is at. We don't want to just point at energy anymore. We don't want to just point at the spiritual sun. We don't want to just point at high frequency energy. We want to channel it into ourselves and bring it into the world. That's what many kind of on the fringes are working on, is it's the becoming of it. Like, we are divine embodied. This energy isn't just something we look at or point to, or we can bring our consciousness to. We actually can bring physical matter to. And so many of us are doing that. But when we do that, it will bring up the dark within self, the unconscious within self, that does not vibrate at that frequency. So the more that we stand in this, even if you didn't work with Lionsgate, doesn't matter. We're in it, right? It's accessing the collective consciousness, and you are included in collective consciousness. I am included in collective consciousness. We just are. As long as we are in a human form, we are plugged into everything that's here. Even if we live on a hill in a hermitage, we might be a little less plugged in. We're still plugged in. We're still breathing the same air. We're still drinking the same water, right? We are still living on the same fucking planet. We are plugged in. That's just the way that it is. And so if we as a collective are bringing in more of this light, it's bringing up more of the shadow. So this is the week where the shadow's coming up. The light came in last week, told y'all it's going to be a great week. Grace bomb, bring in the light, work the high frequency stuff, stunning, get the insights, know where you're going. Now it's the shadow coming up. How much do you really want that spiritually led life? How much do you want to vibrate at that high frequency? Because here's all the stuff that needs to be seen, loved, let go of from a shadow place, a karmic place, in order for you to live the way that you said you wanted to live last week, the way that you said you wanted to live in Lionsgate, the way that you said that you want to live when you're, in that like high soul group frequency retreat, whatever it is. Like, here's where the rubber hits the road. Yeah, are you going to do this? Are you actually going to do this? Because here's what's in your way. That's what this week is about. Here's what's in your way. Here's what's in your way. Here's what's in your way. So now that we know that that's what this week is about, great, we can work with this consciously. We can work with it. We can go do shadow work. We can go work with medicine woman. Go work with Hekate. Go work in the witch wound territory, right? Go work with the dark goddess. Go work with these energies. Go work with, shamanic underworld journeys are really powerful this week with Chiron, with Hekate. Like, that's just shamanic underworld. That's so alive right now. If you don't know how to work with that, we have Shadow Work Workshop, $47. We have Medicine Woman Workshop. You literally burn off your karma at a stake. So if you're feeling any of the witch wound, that is the workshop that I'm feeling the most this week. Shadow work is fucking phenomenal. It's great. You get to work in kind of like karmic backpack territory. You get to journey into your own shadow territory. We oftentimes need a guide into these territories. It's called the shadow for a reason. It's hidden. It's called the unconscious because you're not conscious of it. And we don't know how to get there, right? And so if you have a guide, great. If you have tools and practices and ways in, great. But if you don't, those are two things to feel into, especially Medicine Woman Workshop this week. I am telling you, that one's going to be good because it's literally like burning off the witch wound, burning off the karma. You literally stand at a stake in that workshop to burn off the karma, burn off the fears, burn off the resistance, burn off the past life stuff, burn off the ancestral stuff, burn off anything that which does not serve. That's what this week is about. It's intense purification. It's intense dropping of the karma. It's intense burning off of that which is holding us back now, because we are working to embody more light. But now it's like, all right, what is it that's coming up to be burnt off, to be released, to be let go of, so that I can embody, embrace, and express even more light, even more love. It's that. It's pretty stunning, crazy intense, wildly beautiful. So watch the triggers also. So this is something else that I can say. Triggers are beautiful. Let's celebrate our triggers. Triggers are stunning, right? When you get triggered, it's like celebrate, get excited about it, and dig into it. Like, wow, my emotional response does not match the current situation. That is a really good way to know that you're triggered, right? Like, the emotional response is not quite matching the actual event that took place. I am clearly tapping into something way beyond what this beautiful little actual reality of experience brought me to, right? There's going to be some of us, we are going to be bringing like the whole dumpster fire full of shit to the conversations with our partner this week, to the conversation with our mom, to the conversation with a friend, to whatever, to the guy who cuts you off on the road in the road rage moment, right? Like all the times you were disempowered, right? All the time. So being so conscious, slowing down can really help this week. Practicing a lot, moving a lot of energy when there's a lot of dark goddess at play. Like I said, we have Black Moon on the South Node. That's intense. That's past life karmic territory. Intense as fuck. You have the Black Moon who's literally staring at it. Like, all right, let's purify some shit because I am here to help you embody more light and more love. That alone is crazy, right? We have Kali square to the sun. We have this grand cross of Hekate, the moon, Saturn with that Jupiter Mars going on, right? I already talked about the fact that we have the sun Mercury conjunct Medusa at the start of the week. That's removing the mask. The start of the week, it's Kali, asteroid Kali square the sun. Y'all, this is crazy, wild, beautiful. For anyone who's looking to really awaken to more feminine Shakti, more of the wilder aspects of the feminine, this is also a great week for that. They are roaring. But in the awakening, they go from dormant to like developing or distorted to then the divine expression of them. So just know that they're really alive and really awake, but there's going to be a lot of intense purification happening this week to move us into the divine expression of some of these wilder powers that we have within ourselves. Okay, massively beautiful week. Slow down, celebrate your triggers, dive into them, reflect on them, have good conversations with soul friends, take very good care of yourself, drink a lot of water, eat really clean foods. If you want to think of like a purification week, which is what this is, a karmic week, a shadow territory week, you want to think of detoxing. We're detoxing. And so if we detox on the physical level, we're also helping to detox on an energetic level. What do you need? Clean air, clean water, clean food. What helps you to detox, right? What is it? What is it? What do you need? Really feeling into that. If you want some guided journeys that can help to take you into these territories, to reveal things to actually like energetically work in that territory, it may be with ReWilding and it might not be. But if it is, the two that I recommend, really recommend Medicine Woman. I'm watching so many people literally burning at the stake. They're burning off the karma. That's the number one that I would recommend is Medicine Woman Workshop. Again, it's for $47. Next one that I would recommend would be Shadow Workshop. Do them in unison and do them every day. I would do them every day this entire week through the weekend. I really would. I would maybe do them, reverse them, do shadow work one day, then do Medicine Woman, then do shadow work, then do Medicine Woman, then do shadow. The amount of karma that you will move, this is going to be insane. The amount of healing that will happen, the amount of shedding that will happen, the amount of releasing the blocks that will happen. I can't even express to you how big that will be. It's wild what's possible this week. So those are the two that I would recommend. You'll find details of all that stuff below. All right. Oh my God. I'm sending you so much love for this week. And like, let's do this. I'm also crazy excited for it. Let's do this. Let's do this. We get to be new humans on the other side of this. We get to be lighter. We get to be lighter, like less burden, less heaviness, less karma that we're carrying. We get to be lighter. We get to be lighter and more aligned with like true shining self. Like, fuck it, let's go for it. All right, love you all so much. Would love to see you in the comments. If this serves, maybe hit the subscribe button so you don't miss things, the notifications. I don't know, send it, share it, whatever feels true for you. I'm just really grateful to be here with you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you all. So super, super grateful. And I always love connecting in the comments if you feel to pop down there. All right, huge love to you all.